You can't help who you fall in love with. This is true, but it doesn't mean it's the full story. When you fall in love with a man going through a divorce, you're taking a huge risk no matter how cute, kind, and emotionally available he seems to be. Stick around to learn how attraction may not be a choice, but deciding which men you invest your time in is. I'm Evan Mark Katz, dating coach for smart, strong, successful women and your personal trainer for love. Welcome to the Love You podcast. Keep listening to learn what to do if you're dating a man going through a divorce. When we're done, I'll let you know how you could apply to Love You to create a passionate relationship that makes you feel safe, heard, and understood. So, when I am coaching women on our Love You coaching calls, right, these are groups of women who attend Zoom sessions, the same kind of questions come up all the time. And usually it's a question as to whether you should put your feelings above logic. Right? In general, we want to consider both of them at the same time. It should never be just a pure logic-based decision. It should never be a pure emotion-based decision. So here's an example. One woman came to me because she desperately wanted to have biological kids. Right, this is why she signed up. She was in her early, maybe even mid-40s. And shortly after joining Love You, the magic of my profile writing skills, she attracts an amazing guy. And really in the week between when we spoke, she found a guy, went wild for him, and was never so happy because she found a guy and they'd spent the last 6 nights together. And what a great win this was. Here's the kicker. He doesn't want to have kids. And that's what she signed up for. Another woman tells me she's in a burgeoning relationship with an amazing guy who takes time to talk to her every single night and is already talking about a future. Here's the kicker. He lives in another state. This brings us to today's story, the stories of Rebecca, who eagerly told me on our last Love You coaching call that she's falling hard for a wonderful man. It's been 6 weeks. He's doing everything right. The kicker? He's separated from his wife. Now, he's not going back to his wife. I don't think that's the issue. But he is separated from his wife. He's not divorced. So let's get a few things out of the way as I talk you through this, because maybe you've been in this situation before. I don't know anything about this man. As such, I'm not saying anything negative about him as a human being. I know and I adore my client Rebecca, and I have no doubt if she tells me he's an amazing guy and treats her well and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, I believe her. The problem isn't with this gentleman as an individual. I'm not suggesting he's got low character. The only thing I'm suggesting, overtly suggesting, is that he's a really risky bet for a woman who wants to get married in the next few years. Period. His marriage may have been dead for years. He may feel like he's emotionally available because he's been looking for something like this for many years of his marriage. He's been longing for this thing that he has with my client Rebecca. He may feel an intense connection with her. You may have had a relationship where you felt an intense connection with a guy who wasn't technically available because he was married. The problem is all these emotional connections don't make him a good husband candidate. That's what we're looking for. If you're looking for a husband, right, not just to have a love affair with a married man, right, we have to consider, where is this thing headed? So the risks of dating a separated, divorcing man or a recently divorced man, I know the ink isn't even dry, it's a cliche, and it's a cliche for a reason. As I said, it's not that he's going to necessarily run back to his wife, although he may not want to divorce her or speed things up for a variety of reasons that have to do with children and lawyers' fees and health care. And there's a whole bunch of reasons that it's possible that a guy doesn't follow through with his divorce, even if he's unhappy. The issue is that if he's in a bad marriage, how much of a rush do you think a guy in a bad marriage right now is going to be to get married, remarried quickly? He is, by definition, on the rebound, which makes you, by definition, his rebound girl. And this is without casting any moral aspersions at the parties involved. Guy is looking for someone to fill a void in his life, to give him attention and affection, to be everything his ex-wife wasn't. It's super exciting for him to be single for the first time in years. It's not unexpected. But that doesn't mean he's going to be ready for commitment on your timetable, or in this instance, Rebecca's timetable. So the most predictable, right, if I'm prognosticating, the most predictable outcomes of Rebecca's relationship are that A, he'll reveal himself to be a different man as time goes by, which is not unique to divorcing men, but is similar to all men. Just because a guy shows up really great in the first 6 weeks doesn't mean he's going to be good for the rest of your life. Everybody knows that. So statistically, realistically, the guy she's all excited about right now may not turn out to be her future husband. Right? B, he'll ghost her when shit starts to get real. C, he'll happily date Rebecca as long as he can because she makes him happy. But when push comes to shove, he's not going to want to become more serious the second his divorce is finalized. And by the way, I hate to talk about stuff that's personal, especially since it's not my personal. My sister, I remember doing this. I think she was in her early 30s. And she met a separated guy, someone she worked with. She had a great relationship. It was a super guy. She had a great relationship with this guy for a year. And when she was hoping things were going to escalate, he was just like, I love you, but I'm not ready to do this. So back to Rebecca. She told me just the other day that she was already sleeping with this married man who is not her boyfriend. He's just the guy she's seeing. So he's having the time of his life, dating someone for the first time in years, and she's putting all of her eggs into this very risky basket. I told her what I'm telling you here, to stop seeing him due to the aforementioned reasons. And you can just see her face fall. It was the last thing she wanted to hear. And so I asked the other women of Love You who were on that live Zoom call to chime in and weigh in, either by unmuting themselves and sharing a story, and other ones were typing in the chat. And I just want to share with you some of the things that these women said. What you don't want to do is fall in love with one of these high-risk guys because it can become impossible to extricate yourself. I've been there. It's so hard. Rebecca, hang in there. Next, Rebecca, I feel for you so much. I did essentially the same emotionally unavailable guy, and I fell hard. But I left after 6 weeks. It hurts like hell, but rip off the Band-Aid. If it's meant to be, he could find you again when he's ready to give you what you deserve. Next, I promise it gets harder as more and more time goes by. I did this for 3 years off and on, and here I am in Love You. Next, such a hard truth. My brother was involved with a woman for 6 years. He's still married to his wife. I don't want this for you, Rebecca. We have your back. Next, Rebecca, you are so gorgeous and sweet. You will find someone who's ready for you. You can do this. Next, we all know exactly how you feel, Rebecca. It's okay. You will find someone who's right and ready now. Next, I agree with everyone here. Rebecca, I know it's so tough, but you're beautiful and there's lots of amazing single guys who would love to date you. Next, why even have a conversation to discuss this with him? Just end it and spare yourself the future pain, really. Next, Rebecca, there are lots of other men out there that are available. You're an amazing person that lots of single men would date. I've been totally tempted by the same situation before. Next, my ex-husband was dating someone while we were separated and was talking to me about how it wasn't that serious and he was planning on going on dating apps. I guarantee he wasn't telling this woman that. So I share all those stories because I love the community that we've created in Love You. It's a safe place to share anecdotes, advice, and a little bit of tough love. And it's a reflection of my philosophy that telling someone what she needs to hear is far more important than telling her what she wants to hear. As much as it would make me happy to congratulate Rebecca on finding an exciting new prospect, my job is more like a risk manager, helping people avoid predictable issues in the future. So ultimately, when you work with me, you can do whatever you want. You're the boss. But it's my job to inform you of the likely consequences of your decisions. These consequences have nothing to do with what a great guy he is or how much you're falling for him. Right? I liken it, me and my silly metaphors, I liken it to seeing a bus or a train and there's a sign at the top that says, Chicago, Boston, New Orleans, Paris. This is where the train is taking you. And the problem is, we see a train going, the train is a guy. And we leap on the train without actually paying attention to what's on the sign. And then we wonder why we end up in a place that we don't want to end up. If you don't look at the sign, right? Because the sign is basically saying married, not looking to get married anytime soon. Right? If you ignore that sign, the next thing you know, you could sink 2 years into a guy. Where if you just looked at the sign, you'd be like, oh, I'm on the wrong train. This isn't the guy who's eager. He cares about me, he wants female companionship, but he's not eager to build a life with someone right now. Right? So half my job is just getting you to pay attention to what's on the side of the train and not waste your time on high-risk men. Separated men, recently divorced men, long-distance men, these are men who are the wrong train. And the exceptions, oh, I know this one guy, this long-distance couple, I know this one couple who, those don't disprove the rule. Right? Focus only on men who want what you want right now, and you won't have to waste years of your life on high-risk, dead-end relationships like one with a guy who's going through a divorce. I'm Evan Marc Katz. Thank you for tuning into the Love You podcast. For more episodes like this on YouTube, click on the subscribe button and ring the bell. Choose all to ensure you get notified when new content comes out. If you're listening on the audio podcast, please share an honest review on Apple. More reviews equals more awareness of the Love You podcast and more love in the world. And if you want to find love right now and are committed to making healthier choices with men so you could have an easy relationship that makes you feel safe, heard, and understood, look for the link below and apply for coaching with me in Love You. Talk to you soon.